Guys, I want to talk about something today that most doctors will never bring up during your regular checkup. It's a little uncomfortable, I get that. But after what I've seen in my practice over the years, I can't stay quiet about it anymore because too many men are silently hurting themselves without even knowing it. If you've stopped masturbating as you've gotten older, whether it happened gradually or you just decided it wasn't important anymore, your body is paying a price right now. And I'm not talking about a small price. I'm talking about real, measurable changes to your prostate, your brain, your sleep, your mood, your immune system, and your overall quality of life. This isn't locker room talk. This isn't some internet myth. This is biology. And understanding it could genuinely change the way you take care of yourself from this point forward. I'm Dr. Rachel Ross. I'm a urologist, and I've spent my career helping men over 50 understand what's really happening inside their bodies as they age. And one of the most common things I see is men who quietly dropped this one simple habit years ago and have no idea how much damage that decision has caused. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 things that happen to your body when masturbation disappears from your life. Some of these are going to surprise you. Some of them might explain problems you've been dealing with for years without knowing the cause. And at the end, I'm going to give you a simple, practical plan to start fixing things safely and without any shame. Stay with me all the way through, because this one video might connect dots you've been missing for a long time. Before we get started, hit that like button for me, subscribe if you're new, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from today. Every time I see a new country pop up in the comments, it reminds me why this work matters. Men everywhere are dealing with the same issues, and most of them are dealing with it alone. Let's change that. Let's go. First, I need you to understand something that might shift your entire perspective. Masturbation is not just something young men do. It's not just about desire or pleasure or having too much free time. For your aging body, masturbation is maintenance, real physical maintenance, like stretching your muscles, like walking to keep your heart strong, like eating well to keep your energy up. When you masturbate and reach climax, your body goes through a whole cascade of events. Hormones release, brain chemicals fire, blood rushes to your pelvic region, muscles contract and relax, your prostate flushes itself clean. Your nervous system shifts from stress mode to rest mode. All of that happens every single time, and all of that keeps critical systems in your body running smoothly. When you stop, those systems don't just pause, they start breaking down, slowly, quietly, in ways you might not connect to the real cause for months or even years. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Number 1, your prostate starts suffering. This is the one I see most often in my office. Men in their late 60s and 70s coming in with constant urinary problems, getting up 4 or 5 times a night to use the bathroom, weak stream, feeling like they can never fully empty their bladder, discomfort that just sits there and won't go away. And when I start asking questions, the pattern is almost always the same. They stopped any kind of sexual activity years ago. No partner activity, no solo activity, nothing. Here's what's happening inside. Your prostate produces fluid. That fluid needs to move. It needs to be flushed out regularly. When you ejaculate, that's exactly what happens. The prostate squeezes and pushes old fluid out, fresh fluid replaces it. Everything stays clean and healthy. When that stops happening, the fluid just sits there. It stagnates. Old fluid builds up, and stagnant fluid creates the perfect environment for inflammation. The prostate swells. It presses against your bladder and your urinary tract, and suddenly you're living your life around bathroom locations. Research has actually shown that men who ejaculate more frequently have a lower risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. Your body designed this system for a reason. It needs to be used. The emotional side of this is rough too. When you're getting up 5 times a night, you're exhausted. You start avoiding going out because you're worried about finding a bathroom. Your independence shrinks, your world gets smaller, and it all traces back to something so simple. Number 2, your brain gets foggy. I had a patient a few years ago, sharp man his whole life, retired engineer, loved puzzles and reading and fixing things around the house. He came to me and said, Dr. Ross, I feel like someone turned the lights down in my brain. I walk into rooms and forget why I'm there. I can't focus on anything for more than a few minutes. I just feel dull. His labs were mostly fine. Heart was okay, no major issues. But when we talked about his overall lifestyle, one thing stood out. He had completely stopped all sexual activity, including solo activity, about 2 years earlier. Just decided he was too old for it and stopped. Here's what most people don't know. When you reach climax, your brain releases a powerful cocktail of chemicals. Dopamine, which controls focus and motivation, serotonin, which stabilizes mood, oxytocin, which creates feelings of calm and connection. These chemicals don't just make you feel good in the moment, they actively protect your brain. They support memory formation, they sharpen focus, they keep neural pathways firing efficiently. When you cut off that chemical supply for months or years, your brain misses it. Fog creeps in, sharpness fades, you feel less capable, less like yourself. And because it happens gradually, you don't connect it to the cause. You just assume this is what getting old feels like. But it doesn't have to be. Your brain still responds to these chemicals at any age. You just have to give it the signal. Number 3, your mood goes flat. This one breaks my heart because I see it so often, and men almost never talk about it. I treated a 72-year-old widower who sat in my office and said something I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, I don't feel sad, I don't feel happy, I don't feel anything. I'm just here, taking up space, going through the motions." That flatness, that emotional numbness, it's more common in older men than anyone realizes. And while there are many factors that contribute to it, one that gets completely overlooked is the loss of regular sexual release. Orgasm floods your system with endorphins and oxytocin. These are your body's natural antidepressants. They don't just create pleasure, they create emotional range. They help you feel joy, feel connection, feel alive. When that source dries up, your emotional landscape can go gray. Not dramatic sadness, just nothing. A quiet emptiness that sits in your chest and makes everything feel pointless. Some men start pulling away from friends and family. They drop hobbies they used to love. They stop caring about meals or appearance or routines. And from the outside, it looks like depression, because it is depression. But it's often a type of depression that has a surprisingly simple contributing factor. I'm not saying masturbation is a replacement for therapy or medication when those are needed, but I am saying that reconnecting with your own body can be a powerful piece of the puzzle. Sometimes the first step back to feeling alive is reminding your nervous system that you're still here. Number 4, your sleep falls apart. A man in his late 60s came to me about chronic insomnia. He'd tried everything: melatonin, herbal teas, white noise machines, sleep apps. Nothing worked. He was averaging maybe 4 hours a night, and it was destroying his quality of life. We ran labs. Everything looked normal. Heart was fine. Thyroid was fine. But when I asked about his overall lifestyle, one thing stood out. He had completely stopped all sexual activity, including solo activity, about 2 years ago. Just decided he was too old for it and stopped.
But it's incredibly relevant. When you orgasm, your body releases a specific combination of chemicals that basically tell your nervous system to shut down for the night. Prolactin surges, which creates deep drowsiness. Oxytocin calms your stress response. Endorphins relax your muscles. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing deepens. Your body temperature drops slightly. It's like a natural sleeping pill built right into your biology. And it works better than most over-the-counter supplements because it's working with your body's own systems, not against them. When you take that away, your body has to find other ways to wind down at night. And for many older men, it simply can't. The stress hormones stay elevated, the mind keeps racing, sleep becomes shallow and broken, and then the domino effect begins. Poor sleep weakens your immune system, slows your thinking, increases inflammation, raises your risk for heart disease and diabetes, makes you irritable and withdrawn. One problem feeds the next, all because your body lost one of its most natural tools for rest. Number 5. Your pelvic floor weakens. I treated a retired firefighter in his early 70s. Strong man, proud man. He came to me embarrassed because he was dealing with urinary leakage, a few drops here and there when he coughed or stood up too fast. He also had nagging lower back pain and some hip discomfort that he couldn't explain. When I examined him, the issue was clear. His pelvic floor muscles had weakened significantly. These are the muscles at the base of your pelvis that support your bladder, your bowels, your core, and yes, your sexual function. They're critical for everyday activities, standing up, walking, controlling when you go to the bathroom. Here's what most men don't realize. Every time you reach orgasm, your pelvic floor muscles contract rhythmically, multiple strong contractions in a row. That's a workout, a real workout for muscles that are notoriously hard to exercise any other way. Kegel exercises help, but orgasm-driven contractions are stronger and more complete. When you stop having any sexual release, those muscles stop getting that workout, and muscles that don't get used get weak. Over time, the pelvic floor loses tone, bladder control slips, core stability drops, blood circulation in the pelvic region decreases, tissue loses elasticity, nerve responses fade. For many men, this shows up as unexpected leaking. For others, it's lower back pain or hip problems that don't seem to have a cause. For others, it's sexual dysfunction itself, a weakening cycle where the less active you are, the less capable your body becomes. The good news is, pelvic floor muscles respond to training at any age, and one of the most natural and effective ways to train them is the one we're talking about today. Number 6. Your immune system takes a hit. This one surprises most men, but the research is real. Regular sexual activity, including solo activity, has been shown to boost something called IgA antibodies. These are frontline defenders in your immune system. They patrol your mucous membranes, your nose, your throat, your gut. They catch invaders early, before they can take hold. Sexual release also reduces cortisol, which is your stress hormone. High cortisol suppresses immune function. Low cortisol supports it. So regular orgasm does double duty. It boosts your defenders while lowering the chemical that holds them back. When men stop all sexual activity for extended periods, I often see patterns. They get sick more often, colds linger longer, small infections become bigger problems, chronic inflammation flares up, recovery from illness or surgery takes longer. For a man over 50 or 60 or 70, your immune system is already working harder than it used to. Anything you can do to support it naturally is worth paying attention to, and this is one of the easiest, most accessible tools available. Number 7. You lose connection with your own body. This is the one that nobody talks about, but it might be the most important one on this entire list. I had a patient in his late 70s who said something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, "Dr. Ross, I feel like I'm just living inside this body, not actually connected to it, like I'm a passenger, not the driver. I don't feel things the way I used to, not just physically, in every way. I feel disconnected from myself." When you stop all forms of physical self-care and self-intimacy, something happens psychologically. You begin to separate from your body. You stop paying attention to sensation. You stop noticing what feels good. You stop caring for yourself in that fundamental personal way. And slowly, your nervous system gets the message. This body doesn't matter anymore. We're just going through the motions. That disconnection shows up everywhere, in how you carry yourself, in how you dress, in whether you bother to cook a good meal or just eat whatever's easiest, in whether you stay active or just sit, in whether you engage with life or withdraw from it. Masturbation, even gentle, quiet, private self-touch, is a way of telling your body, "I'm still here, I still care, this body still matters." It reconnects your mind to your physical self. It wakes up nerve pathways that have gone quiet. It restores a sense of ownership and dignity that aging can slowly strip away. This isn't about performance. It isn't about trying to be young again. It's about staying connected to yourself. And that connection is the foundation of everything else: energy, motivation, confidence, purpose. So what can you do starting right now? Here's a simple plan that any man can follow, regardless of age or situation. Step 1. Let go of the guilt. This is the first and most important step. Many men grew up with messages that made this topic feel shameful. Those messages were wrong. What you're doing is taking care of your health, period. No guilt needed. Step 2, start gently. You don't need to force anything. Begin with simple self-awareness. Notice your body. Pay attention to sensation. If arousal comes naturally, let it happen. If it doesn't, that's okay too. The goal at first is just reconnecting. Step 3, aim for some regularity. You don't need a rigid schedule, but try to make this part of your life again in some consistent way. Once a week, twice a week, whatever feels right for you. Consistency is what gives your body the ongoing maintenance it needs. Step 4, practice your pelvic floor exercises alongside this. Kegels take 30 seconds. Squeeze the muscles you'd use to stop urinating. Hold for 3 seconds, release. Do 10 of those 3 times a day. Combined with regular sexual release, this keeps your pelvic floor strong and responsive. Step 5, pair this with good overall habits. Drink enough water. Move your body every day, even if it's just a walk. Eat real food. Get sunlight. These habits multiply the benefits of everything we talked about today. Step 6, pay attention to the changes. After a few weeks of consistent practice, notice what's different. Are you sleeping better? Is your mood lifting? Do you feel sharper during the day? Is your bladder behaving better? These small shifts add up. They're your body telling you thank you. I want to leave you with this. You are not too old for this. You are not past the point where this matters. Your body is still capable of responding, healing, adapting, and feeling good. It just needs you to show up for it. Every system I talked about today, your prostate, your brain, your mood, your sleep, your muscles, your immunity, your sense of self, every single one of them benefits from this simple, natural, free practice that you can do in the privacy of your own home. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting what you have, maintaining what still works, and bringing back what you thought was gone. Small steps, consistent action, no shame. That's the formula. Here's my challenge to you. Start this week. Just start. Pick one step from what I shared and begin. Your body is waiting for you to come back to it, and it will reward you when you do. If this video helped you open your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and please share this with a man who needs to hear it, a friend, a brother, a neighbor. Most men will never search for this topic on their own, but if it lands in front of them, it could change everything. This is your health, your body, your life. Take care of it, all of it. I'm Dr. Rachel Ross, and I'll see you in the next video.